What if there is a better way to find sellers who are willing to seller finance their home? Now, I've heard there's a lot of different lanes, but recently I became a client for an investor who did 190 creative deals in about 4 years. And he was telling me about a secret hack that he would use to find sellers who already have done a seller finance transaction. So in other words, I do a lot of direct to agent, and I don't know, 95% of agents gatekeep. You pitch creative and they, one, don't really fully understand it, and two, even if they do understand it, they do not want to bring it up with their seller, right, with the owner. And so I've done that for example, the last 6 months, every single week doing direct to agent. But when I learned by being a client for this investor, it's, easily 15-20K in value of the secret hack. And it's not really a secret, but the reason why it's a secret hack is because the amount of tedious work it requires. However, it is so efficient, and it's a phenomenal strategy. And basically it is this. It is using PropStream and finding sellers who already did seller financing. And so there is a tedious way to find these sellers. And so instead of me doing direct to agent or even direct to seller, you would call these sellers. And this investor who has done 190 deals, his name is Kevin. And so basically Kevin, again, this is worth 15-20K, probably even more in value. What he does is he creates these campaigns for you. Email campaign, drip campaign, and so for example, I'm looking at seller finance properties in Chicago suburbs, not in the city, in the suburbs. And so there, he did the list, and about 250 properties came up. And so he could do an automated campaign for me. And also on top of that, in his client package, what he also offers is he would create this list, he would do a campaign, and on top of that, he'll sort based on the lowest amount of down payment. So one house we saw, it was the purchase price was $250, seller finance, $240,000, and so the difference is about $10,000, which is the down payment. And so he would do the hard, tedious work of figuring out what is the lowest down payment, and will put it on a spreadsheet for you. And now you have a list that is kind of an evergreen list. Direct to agent, like in San Diego where I live, there are like thousands of agents. So it's, you may do maybe one deal with one agent, but you're gonna have to do that whole process, build rapport, relationship with another agent, and so on and so forth. But with this list of sellers who already seller finance, it becomes faster and more efficient. Now, it's not easier, but it's a lot more efficient. It's systematized. And it's just faster. You're gonna get to your goal of getting a seller finance property faster. Now, faster doesn't mean like overnight success or quick cash or a quick deal, because this still takes work. But this list, most of these, not all, but if you are an owner who seller finance, they usually have a portfolio of 5 to 10 to 15. So for example, my goal is to get 5 rentals, right? 5 rentals, because for example, 5 rentals at 300,000 and you project it to 10 to 15 years, you're getting about a net net worth of assets about 2.4 million. Again, that's before you do the loan payoff, but that just happens with 5, right? 5 properties. So most people, if you're a W2 worker like me and you have 5 rental properties, I mean, and that's your portfolio, you're pretty much done, right? Your retirement's done, right? Because it's gonna grow. And on a side note, I'll use Velocity Banking to pay it down even faster, and so I'm gonna cash flow. And so all that to say, it's just a phenomenal, brilliant strategy. And Kevin, he actually sold all of his portfolio and things like that because he wants to be a pilot, so he doesn't have a lot of time. And so I'm just making this video for one, to encourage people to use this strategy, but 2, if you have a budget and if you want a faster and a more efficient and a systematized way of finding sellers who are already seller financed, you can hit me up. You can hit me up, and I'll be happy to connect you with Kevin. He's only taking a few clients because, again, he wants to be a pilot. I don't know why I do know why he wants to be a pilot, because that's his passion. He always wanted to be a pilot, and so he's pursuing his passion and his dream, which is great. But he can only take a handful of clients and do work for a handful of people. So, you know, if you want to like even be crazy faster and efficient, is, yeah, you know, be one of his clients. You know, I don't know how many he's taken on, maybe 3, maybe 5 at most. And once he has 5, he can't really take on anymore. But yeah, I'm so glad that I got to be one of his clients and get to learn this. And so, yeah, hopefully I'm gonna keep track of my journey of getting 5 seller finance rentals that will hopefully cash flow and achieve my goal, and then move on to other bigger and better things. So I want to make this video to share about this just slept on strategy, and it's so tactical, it's so specific. I read his ebook or his SOP on the step-by-step how to do it. It's just the playbook is there, and all you got to do is you got to do the work. You have to take action, do the work. And you know, he doesn't do it for free. You have to pay him, but the results are, I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, he got 190 creative deals, so he knows what he's doing. So yeah, consider that strategy. And again, you don't have to be one of his clients if you know how to use PropStream and make that list, and you know how to do campaigns. My whole thing is, like, do that route versus doing anything else.